Big business and government are not friends of the American worker. Very profound stuff. Really hit me hard when I heard that. How true it is. Hey there, friends. I'm David D. This is PRM, and so I've been watching Jimmy Hoffa related content all weekend. It started with The Irishman, which was just released on Netflix. It is a 3.5-hour long movie centered around Jimmy Hoffa and some other people, based on a novel called I Heard You Paint Houses. And if you know anything about gangster movies, you know what I Heard You Paint Houses means. Bang pow. Okay, so really good movie. I'm so long overdue to really dig into Jimmy Hoffa and who he was, and I think I'm going to do that more. And I've been watching some YouTube videos about him, and I need to do a deep dive because he seems like a very important person in modern American history. And some guy was talking about Jimmy Hoffa and about his life, and he said big business and government are not friends of the American worker. And I'm sitting here in 2019 really absorbing that. And it really, really, really resonates with me how big business and government are so enmeshed in such a toxic way that hurts the American worker. If you look at wages, they have been stagnant for 40 years. Just recent history, 9-10 years ago when Obama became president, minimum wage was $7.25. Oh, shocker, it's still $7.25. Workers are getting screwed beyond belief in this country, and because unions are broken up. They're worked against. Union membership is like the lowest it's been in half a century. And when I heard when unions are doing good, when unions are thriving in America, workers across the board are thriving with them because unions set the standard for the American worker. And it makes total sense that right now in current 2019, union membership is at its lowest in half a decade or more. Half a century or more. It explains why we're doing so bad. Because big corporations and big government have completely worked against us to serve their needs, not the workers' needs. And when you dig into Hoffa a little bit, he was the leader of the Teamsters, back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, when union membership was at an all-time high. The American standard of living was very high. The American worker was paid very high, a very sustainable wage, because unions were so strong, and they set the standard, like I said. When you look at it now, it's pathetic. And we're living that. You're living that. If you're just a regular person, we're living these problems because of unions being so worked against. They've been broken up, legislated against. Big business has the leg up here against them. And it makes perfect sense why we're doing so bad, why the minimum wage hasn't gone up. It just has me thinking a lot. It makes me want to study more about unions. I've never been in a union. It just makes me want to learn more about unions and how they do affect us for the better. And we need to be standing up for them, even if you may know a little bit about it, or you know nothing, because they do set the standard of how we're living our lives. And a lot of us aren't living a great life right now. It also leads me to Bernie Sanders, which is the person who's most likely to correct the systemic issues that we face today in present day 2019-2020. I have the most faith that Bernie Sanders can do this. There's other people in the field who have good ideas, like Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang and Marianne Williamson, and I like those candidates very much. But I firmly believe in Bernie Sanders when it comes to systemic change that can get us back on the road for the American worker to live a prosperous life. One where there is a living wage, where the standard of living is strong, because that's been torn down over the past 4 or 5 decades, and we need to get it back. And that's why I believe Bernie Sanders is the guy to take us there. He's been fighting for it for 40, 50 years. I believe he can get us there. So, just some thoughts there. Make sure you watch The Irishman. It's a great movie if you like mobster movies, gangster movies, Goodfellas and whatnot. Great movie. Maybe we can talk about that down in the comments. But let me know what's up. Hope you had a great weekend. Talk to you soon.